Bills Mafia, what's going on? Before we get into this massive divisional round preview, let me start the way we always do. This team is working tirelessly to improve every single day. Through adversity, injuries, tough road environments, and season-long questions about identity, the Buffalo Bills keep fighting, keep sharpening, and keep finding ways to win. And if you love this kind of storytelling, analysis, and insider-style reporting, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and let's grow this family together. Bills Mafia, if you want to check out the official Buffalo Bills store, the link is in the description and in the comment. Tons of new Sideline gear and hoodies available. Now, let's get into the big storyline of the week. The Buffalo Bills have the blueprint to beat the Denver Broncos on Saturday. And believe it or not, it's a whole lot simpler than most people think. Let's start with a stat that absolutely shocked me when I saw it. The Denver Broncos, under rookie quarterback Bo Nix, are 1-8 against teams that score more than 17 points. That's right, 1-8. Now here's where it gets even better. The Buffalo Bills are 13-0 this season when they score at least 23 points. Undefeated, automatic, dominant. Do the math, and what's the blueprint? Score at least 23 points. Seriously, that's it. 23 points is the magic number. Of course, I'm joking when I say it's that simple, because we all know how tough the playoffs are. We all know Denver's defense is aggressive, talented, and physical. But what this stat does show is that Denver's offense cannot keep up when forced into a shootout. If you push them past their comfort zone, they crumble. So the question becomes, how do the Bills get to 23 points with a depleted receiver room and a road playoff environment? Let's break it down. Denver's defense is scary on paper. Fast linebackers, long corners, a fierce pass rush, and an aggressive mentality. They love to sell out on third down. They pride themselves on taking away perimeter receivers, and when the field gets tight in the red zone, they tighten the screws even more. But that aggressiveness, Bills Mafia, it's also their weakness. Advanced analytics show that the Broncos struggle when facing 11, 12, and even 13 personnel groupings. In these looks, they're surrendering roughly 5 yards per attempt. And here's where Buffalo has a real advantage. Denver is elite against boundary receivers, but they are vulnerable in the middle of the field. And who thrives in that area for Buffalo? Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid. Let's talk numbers. Denver ranks 25th in DVOA against slot receivers. They rank 18th in yardage allowed to tight ends, giving up around 60 yards per game. This matchup screams for Shakir and Kincaid to take over. Both players understand leverage, find soft spots in zone, and work the seams beautifully. Against an over-aggressive defense, they can run option routes, crossers, whip routes, and deep over concepts to pull linebackers out of position. Add in play action, add in motion, add in the threat of Josh Allen's legs, you've got a recipe for consistent chunk plays. But this offense doesn't run through just the passing attack. It runs through James Cook. Let's call it out. James Cook was basically erased last week. 15 carries, 46 yards, no rhythm, no momentum. That has to change. The Broncos are fundamentally weaker against the run than they are against the pass, and when Denver's defense gets aggressive, they open huge cutback lanes. Cook has the speed, the patience, and the acceleration to punish that kind of eager front. Sean McDermott and Joe Brady know they can't put everything on Josh Allen's back again. Not in the divisional round, not on the road, not with a receiver room missing 3 major pieces. Cook needs volume. Cook needs early touches. Cook needs to force Denver into heavier personnel packages, because when that happens, Josh Allen feasts. Look, let's be honest. This offense is going into the biggest game of the season without Josh Palmer, Gabe Davis, Tyrell Shavers, all out for the year. That is brutal. The Bills are hanging on by threads at receiver. Right now, it's basically Shakir, Kincaid, and whoever steps up next. The good news is, it looks like Curtis Samuel will return this week, and that is massive. He adds speed, misdirection value, vertical threat ability, and quick-hitting route versatility that this offense desperately needs. But at the end of the day, this playoff game will come down to one thing: Josh Allen being Josh Allen. He is the most unstoppable January quarterback in football. He is the definition of a playoff weapon. His arms, his legs, his physicality, his improvisation, this is where he shines brightest. The margin for error will be tiny, the weapons will be thin, the crowd will be loud, the stakes will be enormous. But as long as number 17 is under center, Buffalo always has a chance. Unfortunately, the Bills go into this game without some major defensive pieces. Sean McDermott confirmed that Maxwell Hairston, ankle, out, Jordan Poyer, hamstring, out, and Ty Johnson, ankle, TBD. Hairston has been fantastic as a rookie. Poyer is a veteran leader and tone setter, and Johnson is essential for spelling James Cook. These are not small losses. And while Denver isn't known for a high-flying offense, they have explosive play potential. Bo Nix has flashed accuracy. Marvin Mims, Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy can win vertically and make contested catches. Buffalo's depth will be tested. But again, the blueprint remains the same. Score 23, control the game, force Denver to chase, make Bo Nix uncomfortable, lean on your superstars. There's one Buffalo Bills player, one who holds the key to unlocking the full potential of this offense on Saturday. Not Josh Allen, not Dalton Kincaid, not Khalil Shakir. The man in the spotlight is James Cook. Bills Mafia, hear me out. Everything Buffalo wants to do offensively flows from Cook's ability to bounce back after a rough wildcard performance. And the numbers, the matchups, and the playoff history all point to Cook being the deciding factor. Let's break down exactly why. Against the Jaguars last week, the Bills ran into the best run defense in the NFL, and Jacksonville made sure James Cook felt it. Buffalo finished the day with 79 total rushing yards, 26 attempts, only 3 yards per carry. That's not the formula Buffalo wants heading into January football. Cook, the NFL's leading rusher, was bottled up all day, unable to break free or generate explosive plays. Jacksonville punched first in the trenches, and Buffalo never fully recovered in the run game. But that performance, it's not the full picture, and it's definitely not the predictor of what Cook can do this weekend, because history says the opposite. Bills fans, you remember last postseason against Denver, that dominant, physical, downright punishing run game that broke the Broncos' will. Let me remind you of the numbers. James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards, 1 TD, 5.2 yards per carry. Buffalo total rushing, 210 yards. Josh Allen, 46 yards on 8 carries. Ty Johnson, 44 yards on 9 carries. Buffalo didn't just beat Denver, they bulldozed them. That game is still a blueprint today.
Now, of course, both rosters changed. This isn't a carbon copy of last year's matchup. Denver added Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, both huge pieces in shoring up their run defense. But even with those upgrades, Buffalo knows that when they run downhill, set the tone early, and let Cook create in space, this offense becomes nearly impossible to stop. Let's talk about this Broncos defense, because they're no joke. They've held opponents under 90 rushing yards in 6 of their last 9 games. They're physical, disciplined, and they rarely give up easy yards. And here's where things get interesting. Denver ranks second in the entire NFL in yards before contact allowed, 0.87 per carry. That means they're hitting running backs early. But you know what Buffalo does extremely well? They rank third in the league in generating yards before contact, 1.77 per carry. So what we're looking at on Saturday is a pure strength-on-strength heavyweight battle. Can Denver close lanes before they develop, or can Buffalo's offensive line, which has been elite this year, create enough space for Cook to hit second gear? If Cook wins that battle, Buffalo's offense opens up like a floodgate. Let's be honest, the Bills are hurting at wide receiver. Josh Palmer, Gabe Davis, and Tyrell Shavers are all done for the year. Curtis Samuel is expected to return, which is massive, but the depth is thin. So what does that mean? It means the Bills cannot afford to be one-dimensional. If Buffalo asks Josh Allen to drop back 45 times with a depleted receiving core against a swarming Denver defense, that's asking for trouble. But if Cook gets rolling, play action opens up. Kincaid dominates the middle. Shakir finds space in zone. Allen becomes lethal on designed QB runs. Denver is forced to back off and respect the run. The entire offense becomes balanced, unpredictable, and, most importantly, dangerous. Here's where the warning comes in. If Buffalo doesn't establish the run early and lets this game drag into the fourth quarter, Bo Nix, yes, the rookie, becomes a massive problem. Nix leads the entire NFL with 7 game-winning drives this season. He is built for late-game chaos. He thrives in close situations, and he will absolutely steal this game if the Bills leave the door cracked open. Buffalo cannot allow Denver to hang around. Cook has to be the tone setter that takes the Broncos out of their comfort zone. This game isn't just another playoff matchup, it's an identity game, a season-defining moment, a test of Buffalo's toughness, coaching, and resilience. The blueprint is simple. Attack Denver in the middle of the field, feed James Cook early, get Curtis Samuel involved, let Josh Allen take control in the fourth quarter, reach that 23-point threshold. If they do that, history says Buffalo moves on. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Bills will hit 23 points? How should Buffalo attack the Broncos' defense? Are you worried about the injuries to Hairston and Poyer? What's your score prediction for Saturday? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our exclusive Buffalo Bills coverage. And don't forget, the official Bills store link is down below if you want to check out the newest gear. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be emotional. This is going to be must-watch football. And Bills Mafia, let's go get this win. Go Bills!